Morning, Malacanang Press Corps. Welcome sa Mindanao Hour led by Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Welcome to Mindanao Hour and Bangon Marawi. We'd now like to defer and give the floor to Secretary Sec Toby.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Malacanang Press Corps. Here are the updates on the activities of your task force, Bangon Marawi. On relief distribution, several relief distribution activities were conducted the past week for our IDPs in various areas in Iligan City and Lanao del Norte. The International Organization for Migration distributed kits to 5 evacuation centers in Iligan City. These kits include school supplies, tables, chairs, basketballs, volleyballs, and hula hoops. Also, the Social Housing Finance Corporation, under the Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, gave 109 relief items, which include food packs, hygiene kits, and medicines for the IDPs at the 10th city in Barangay Kampong Pantar, Lanao del Norte. The Office of Civil Defense ARMM, with the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Region 12, distributed relief supplies to the home-based IDPs in Sagiaran, Lanao del Norte. On the provision of sufficient water supply in evacuation centers, Task Force Bangon Marawi Executive Director Undersecretary Cesar Llano initiated the installation of overhead water tanks in Pantar, Lanao del Norte, and in Santa Elena Evacuation Center in Iligan City. A deep well water pump was also installed in Pantar. These water tanks and pump shall provide sufficient water supply for our IDPs. The Lanao del Sur Electric Cooperative Incorporated, or LASURECO, has provided a source of electricity in Albaroni Madrasa Evacuation Center in West Baloi, Lanao del Norte. The electricity is used to pump water from nearby sources for our IDPs. On the initiatives of the National Youth Commission, a series of concerts was initiated by NYC Chairperson Isa Sigera as part of the ongoing psychosocial interventions for the evacuees and to uplift the spirits and foster harmony among our IDPs. The concerts were held in Buruon School of Fisheries and Tibanga Boulevard. NYC Chair Sigera also initiated a training on resilience coaching for our health workers. Resilience coaching is a psychosocial intervention that could help boost the recovery of its recipients. On our transitional shelter site development of the transitional housing site in Barangay Sagonsongan is ongoing. 4 hectares will have been developed by the DPWH by September 8 or September 9 for eventual handover to NHA for the construction of transitional shelters. You will note that this is within the target that we initially provided. Also, an update from the original 11 hectares, a total of 17 hectares will now be made available for our transitional shelter sites, and we shall provide updates as they come. The Local Water Utilities Administration, or LUA, considers tapping the Agus River for the water supply in the transitional shelter sites. Assessments are ongoing, and the proposal is expected before the site is ready for occupancy. Lastly, LASURECO has energized the transitional shelter sites. In this connection, we would also like to thank our numerous private medical professionals and doctors who are providing basic health services to our IDPs. We also remind our donors to coordinate their efforts for proper resource and relief allocation and management. I take this opportunity to also provide again the numbers we have at our National Emergency Operations Center. For Globe, we have 0995-356-3965 and 0997-950-6414. And for Smart, 0929-144-9242 and 0907-356-1545. I would also like to update the body that there's an ongoing meeting now of the Housing Subcommittee of Task Force Bangon Marawi here in Malacanang, and they have been meeting all morning. Now, I would like to provide a statement on the recent actions by North Korea. The Office of Civil Defense is in continuous coordination with relevant national government agencies to ensure the safety of our people in light of the recent actions by North Korea that may put at risk the lives of our fellow Filipinos. Rest assured that contingencies are being set in motion for the protection of our civilian populace. Their safety is our primordial concern. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you.
Press corps, question. Malacanang press corps on Mindanao, Bangon Marawi first. Ace Romero.
ASEC, kailan matatapos yung assessment?
Well, which assessment? For the...
Yung sa Marawi po.
Well, the assessment, if you were referring to the post-conflict needs assessment, well, we're already beginning the human phase, as I mentioned before. But the entirety of the assessment would really depend on the all clear of the AFP. Because this assessment entails going into ground zero, going into Marawi itself, and assessing all buildings, all damages. Because this is a comprehensive assessment, we will need to go there in ground zero. Because we cannot do that now because of the still ongoing military operations and the need to clear the place, no? Kasi napakahirap nito dahil hindi lang to ordinaryong trahedya, dahil kailangan natin i-clear ang mga IEDs dahil ayaw nating masaktan ng ating mga assessors. So wala pa tayong mabibigay na time frame. Although once makuha natin yung all clear, gagawin na natin lahat. Trained na ang ating mga assessors. Nag-training na tayo weeks back. So ready na sila, inaantay na lang yung all clear.
So wala, not even half of the job tapos na.
I wouldn't want to give a percentage, although a big chunk of that assessment is really the damage assessment of the buildings, of the livelihood, and of the city itself. At yun, syempre, hindi pa natin yun nagagawa.
So wala pang figures, wala pang...
Wala pa.
Okay, thank you po.
Question. So, Marisa Lalili, TV5.
Hi, good morning. ASEC and spokes, may we have your statement regarding the report that Abdullah Maute was already killed in Marawi?
I would not be competent to answer that question.
We don't have any updates at this stage.
Okay, sir, because the AFP officials, I believe, just announced it during their press conference. But how optimistic are you that the operations will end anytime soon following the death of Maute leader?
Well, that all depends on the assessment of the AFP themselves. I cannot speculate on any timeline about how soon or when it will be finished.
Questions? Joseph, on Bangon Marawi pa rin. Bangon Marawi, Dexter Benibe. Microphone, please.
Asa, good morning. Yung sa barangay Sagunsunan, Marawi City po ito, ano?
Yes.
Yung 4 hectares na sinimula ng i-develop ng DPWH, mga ilang families po yung pwedeng...
Depende yun sa pagkatapos ng site development, no? Kasi depende yun una dun sa final size ng ating transitional shelters at depende yun dun sa utilities na ating ilalagay doon para proper yung planning, no? Parang site planning nitong area na to. I do not have the figures as to the actual number of the transitional shelters that will be built there. Pero nadagdagan na yung ating site, so mas darami pa yung ating magagawang transitional shelters. I'll let you know once we have information on that.
With this development, kailan kaya sila pwedeng pumasok na doon at pwedeng makalipat na doon sa transitional center?
Well, magsisimula ang construction ng September 8, no? Magsisimula later this week. Magsisimula ang construction. That is on target, no? Sa ating initial assessment. At depende sa kaya nilang itayo na transitional shelters. Dahil modular naman itong ating transitional shelters, madali lang naman itong itayo. Bibigyan namin kayo ng constant updates, no? Kung ano yung number of transitional shelters na kayang gawin every day at every week. At pag may area na, kasi itong 4-hectare area na initially na makukompleto na yung site development by later this week. Ito lang, area, I understand, 2 areas lang to doon sa initial 11-hectare area na identified. So, dadami pa to at patuloy ang site development naman ng DPWH.
Yung mga materials na gagamitin para doon sa mga shelter, temporary shelter?
Yes, parating na yung materials.
Ano po yung mga
by
gagamitin?
September 8 or September 9, I understand, nandun na rin yung materials. Yung materials nito, ito mismo yung transitional shelter kasi modular yon. So, parang transitional shelter kits yan eh. So, itatayo na yan para mas
With this
mabilis yung
tent
pagtayo.
po ba ito o mga light materials?
Hindi ito tent. Hindi ito tent. We would have, I'll provide the pictures, no, of the transitional shelter, no. Pero hindi ito tent because I understand may sensitivities ang ating mga IDPs pagdating sa tents, no. So we want to be culturally and sensitive pagdating sa kanilang faith and culture, no. So hindi tayo magpo-provide ng tent. So this is a modular design that has been approved by NHA and will provide the details.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Henry Uri.
Sir, good morning. May mga report na may nakapasok na mga peking simento sa bansa. At ito'y posibleng magamit din sa konstruksyon ng Marawi City. Anong inyong direktiba sa mga tao sa field at paano ninyo binabantayan ito?
Well, lahat ng initiatives na gagawin para sa rebuilding at reconstruction at rehabilitation ng Marawi and other affected areas, lahat ito dadaan sa task force. So, i-verify ng task force lahat ng gagamitin para dito sa rebuilding, no? At sinabi ko nga kanina, nagmi-meet ngayon ng Housing Subcommittee ng Task Force Bangon Marawi. And I'm sure isa yan sa pinag-uusapan nila. Dahil siyempre ayaw nating malusutan tayo ng substandard ng mga materyales. At i-ensure natin na lahat ng gagamitin dito ay above standard, no? At gagawin natin ang lahat para ma-verify na walang mangyayaring ganyan. And alam mo, halos araw-araw nag-uusap ang mga opisyal ng task force para malaman kung ano na yung updates sa lahat ng subcommittees, hindi lamang ng Housing Subcommittee. So I'm sure naka-alerto sila para dito at papaalalahanan natin sila tungkol dito. And our National Emergency Operations Center sa Iligan City, isa yan sa kanilang primary responsibilities, no? To ensure na lahat ng goods at services at supplies na papasok dyan sa area na yan ay verified at according to specifications.
Kaya po bang ipangako ng task force na hindi kayo talaga malulusutan ng mga peking construction materials?
Gagawin natin ang lahat, no, para hindi tayo malusutan at makakaasa kayo na palaging nag-uusap ang inyong task force, ang mga miyembro ng inyong task force upang lahat kami ay on the same page, ika nga, para alam namin ang lahat ng gagamitin, ang lahat ng specifications, at lahat ng ito ay naaayon sa ating standards at proper procedures ang gagawin natin. Kaya nag-expand nga ang ating task force, nadagdagan ng subcommittees, nadagdagan ng mga miyembro, para lahat tayo, all hands on deck, ika nga, para dito sa reconstruction ng Marawi.
Konting background lang ho. Paano kayo nag-accredit ng mga developer?
NHA would be the one to answer that, and pagdating sa housing, no, nasa kanilang mandato yan. So I'm sure they're providing the proper accreditations, they're reviewing the suppliers and the contractors that may be accredited for this purpose. And we will be very transparent. Yan ho ang mapapangako natin na magiging transparent ho tayo at isasama ko ho yan sa mga subsequent updates natin.
Alright, salamat po.
Okay, on Bangon Marawi, MPC. Other issue, Joseph Morong.
Sir, sa OCD po. Sir, sa Korea, what sort of contingency measures are we looking at? Because wala naman tayong mga anti-missile systems.
Actually, mostly we are meeting to make sure that all our agencies are in place In fact, there will be a meeting this afternoon precisely to discuss that within OCD and with selected government agencies. And basically, information campaign to para alam ng ating mga mamamayan kung anong kanilang gagawin. This is partly prevention and partly remedial, no? And we will make sure that we have our assets, that we will have all our contingency plans in place. Meron naman tayong mga contingency plans at mga response plans. Set na naman to. This is, meron na yan ng NDRMC, meron na rin yan ng OCD. We're adjusting it per scenario. So regarding this, syempre aalamin natin, di ba, kung saan pwedeng tumama or yung trajectory. Although we do not anticipate that there will be, of course, will be part of the direct trajectory of any launch, we will prepare, no, for the debris at nagagawa naman natin ito dati pa. So ipapaalam lang natin sa ating mga kababayan, perhaps particularly in our eastern coast, no, kung anong kailangan nilang gawin, kung alin yung evacuation shelters na available, at kung anong mga municipalities ang kailangan naka-alerto para dito. Again, this is normal. We do this all the time. Parang typhoon preparations yan, no? Na ina-alerto natin ang ating mga local chief executives sa kanilang dapat gawin. And of course, part of this is our intensive information and educational campaigns.
Yeah, at the most, I think we can suffer from an event of a nuclear attack, maybe a fallout, no? Kung halimbawa medyo maligaw or whatever.
Yes,
But
yes,
how do you
that's
prepare for a nuclear fallout?
Well, we will provide the necessary information. So, dapat ready ang ating mga local government units, ang ating mga local chief executives para dito. Dahil alam naman natin na this is according also to our national disaster response plans. Parating ang first responders dyan, yung ating LGUs. Parating yung mga local chief executives na nandyan. So, sila, ginagabayan natin sila, binibigyan natin sila ng guidance at abiso kung paano sila dapat mag-prepare. And we're checking their preparedness. We're checking their operational readiness, so to say. Dahil lahat naman ng ating mga LGUs dapat may local disaster risk reduction and management officers at offices at councils na dapat nakahanda para mag-responde dito. At on the part of OCD, we are tasking, as we have been doing all along, our regional directors, our regional offices, and our regional councils to make sure that all the local government units under them are preparing accordingly.
So we can say we're ready just in case may nuclear fallout?
Well, we're preparing, and we would like to be ready when that time comes.
Are we coordinating with other countries to share information as far as maybe the possibility or
The DFA may be the more competent agency to answer that, but we're also coordinating with DFA regarding this.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Question on North Korea. May follow-up? Other issue? Pia Ranyada.
This is for Spokes Abelia. Sir, over the weekend, the President was able to meet with Ilocos Norte Governor Amy Marcos. Do we just have any more details, any more concrete details on the plan to return the Marcos wealth? How much are we talking about? Who are the people who will be involved in this endeavor? And which government programs will be funded by the gold bars, if ever?
We don't have specifics regarding that particular issue, but as the President has promised, this entire negotiation will be done professionally and transparently with a full accounting to the people and especially authority from the Congress. We therefore urge the Congress to authorize the President to proceed with negotiations and set parameters, taking into account concerns raised by critics and the citizenry. It would be best if we all work together for final justice, closure, and national reconciliation.
And sir, the President also expressed a stance saying that he will just accept the explanation of the Marcoses that the wealth was hidden for safekeeping. And some citizens were angered by this, saying that it's revisionist and the proper word for it is stolen. What is the palace stance on this wealth? What is it? Is it stolen wealth? Is
The
it
President
hidden wealth?
has said that he will accept however they explain it. So we're not taking a stand regarding it. He's speaking like a lawyer and accepts what the other party is saying. However, the final word will have to come from Congress.
So, sir, we won't be expecting any follow-up action like filing of charges, or do they just return the money and that's it?
Well, like we said earlier, we said that we now urge the Congress to take, we urge the Congress to authorize the President to proceed with the negotiations.
So, sir, just to clarify, what will the Congress do exactly? They will authorize the negotiation? How does that work?
I don't know the specific exactly, but what we can say is that the President cannot just simply be acting on his own. It has to be, the legislative has to come into play in this case.
So it will be an order from the legislative branch to begin negotiation. Why can't the President do this on his own?
At this stage, that is, it's beyond him. I believe he has already said so. That it is not just him who will do the negotiation. He works in concert with the Congress.
Okay, thank you. Lenesca? Michael.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, follow-up lang po. Onting clarity because why is it that the President would need congressional discretion or approval in negotiating with the Marcoses, given that we already have the PCGG in place, which mandate is to recover the Marcoses' ill-gotten wealth. So why the need for congressional approval
As far as we
on
understand
presidential
it,
action?
as far as we understand it, it demands a, not demands, it necessitates setting the proper parameters regarding the matter.
So, sir, the existing parameters with the PCGG
This
and
is
the
in,
Marcoses.
this is new ground, right? This is entirely new ground. So we need guidance. We defer to that. We defer to that. This statement of the President that it will have to be referred to the Congress,
Okay, sir, follow. Given that you need congressional approval and this is a new negotiation, does that mean that the Marcoses will withdraw their appeals pending before the court because they are contesting the ill-gotten findings on their wealth? So, babawi, they will withdraw their appeal because there's a new negotiation.
By stating that we're not implying anything. We simply are saying that the President has said that the Congress needs to be able to frame it. That he's also that the final, how do you put it? How that it will be in concert with the Congress that decisions on the matter will be taken.
Okay, thank you. JP Bencito? Follow up.
Hi, spokes. Good morning po.
Yes,
sir,
sir,
can we get the palace opinion as to what are the legal loopholes in our laws or in the current jurisprudence on Marcos wealth as to why the President wanted the Congress to step into the negotiations and give him the authority?
We're not. We have to defer to. We have to defer to Congress to be able to point that out. Okay.
Last na lang, sir. Sir,
Yes.
there was a 2003 ruling that states that Marcos legally earned 300,000 from in his 20-year term. But sir, is this ruling some kind of enough to allow the government do with finality all the legal needs or whatever it's needed to recover all the Marcos wealth? Because that was a contention raised by the President in attacking former PCGG Chair Carranza.
The question is.
Is the 203 ruling enough, sir?
I cannot make any comments regarding that. All I can say is that the President has stated that he will involve the Congress.
Thank you.
Okay, Ace Romero.
Yusek, the President mentioned last Saturday regarding the Marcoses that if there will be prosecution, it will be within the realm of the Justice Department. Is it a statement which somehow indicates that the government will still be open to to filing charges against the Marcoses?
I don't know what the implications are, but the proper venue for questions like that would be the DOJ.
But filing charges is not yet you're not discounting the possibility of not of filing the charges against the Marcoses.
We're not discounting at this stage. We're not making any statements about discounting any charges.
Okay, last three. Joseph Morong.
Sir, clarification lang po. Okay, so the committee that the President wants to create is for purposes of negotiating for a settlement?
Regarding the actual process, we leave it to that. We leave it to the President and the Congress, okay? And we're simply saying that at this stage, the President said that he will listen, but that at the final analysis, Congress has to, the whole process has to work, has to be in concert with the Congress. Okay, we cannot say which comes first, which takes precedence. We simply are saying that he is involving the Congress at this stage.
Okay, before that point, si Amy po yung kausap ni Presidente, no? Kasi during the ambush, I think, ang sabi ni President, no, not ambush, during the speech, I think 2 weeks ago, he said that there's a spokesperson, and then that spokesperson said that the Marcoses are willing to return a few gold bars. But I think, kailan ba yung kagabi? Last Saturday, pinangalanan niya si Representative Amy Marcos, yung kausap pala niya. Is that correct?
He said so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, I just want to get the confirmation. No?
Right.
Okay. Going back to the point, you are talking to the Marcoses because they want to settle, right? And we are amenable to that. Ganun ba yun?
The President simply said that he was approached, and that, and for this matter, and that we don't know the exact tenor of the conversation, except that, as the President has said, it has been open to him that the Marcoses apparently are open to this negotiation.
Okay. So if we're talking to them, how different is the final outcome from the settlements of previous administrations as far as cronies are concerned? Kasi di ba meron namang mga ibang nag-return ng mga may nag-settle na mga cronies.
Okay, so?
Ganon din po ba yung mangyayari with the Marcoses?
I cannot confirm that nor deny that. I'm simply saying that the President listened to this, listened when he was approached.
Sige na nga, sir. Okay.
On Marcos pa rin, Ina Andulong to be followed by Pia Gutierrez, then Philip Tobesa.
Hi, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, ano po bali muna ang status of efforts to form that team that the President was talking about, pending the what you mentioned, yung authority from Congress?
At this stage, we don't have any clear reports as to what steps have already been taken. At this stage, all we know is that the President was approached and that he has voiced his opinion regarding the matter, and then the next steps will have to be taken as it unfolds.
Okay, now this is similar to what were asked earlier, but why just not let the PCGG handle it? Why the need to form a new team?
Then we'll have to clarify that. We can get back to you on that.
And sir, yung sinabi po ninyo that the President will just accept the explanation to be given by the
That is not what I said. That is what the President said.
In saying that, can you expound to us what the President meant? Does this mean that he will not dispute or challenge whatever explanation will be given by the Marcoses?
All he said at this stage is that he accepted. I mean, he did not contradict whatever the representative said. That he was taking it on face value.
And lastly, sir, how important is it for the President to recover itong wealth? How do you strike a balance between recovering ill-gotten wealth and at the same time holding the Marcoses accountable for whatever wrongdoing they've done?
Well, that will have to be a process that will have to be carefully worked out.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, last three, Pia Gutierrez to be followed by Philip, and last, Maricela Lili.
Sir, can we get a reaction tungkol po dun sa pagkamatay ng people who are saying this is another Kian de Los Santos case, the death of 19-year-old Carl Angelo Arnaiz, who was killed a few days ago by Caloocan police?
At this stage, we don't have. We will be coming up with a statement soon. So will you please just? We will be, and you will be the first to know.
But the palace is aware of his case.
It's something that we still have to verify.
Okay, Philip. Microphone, please.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
The MILF has expressed concern about the lack of a sponsor for the BBL in Congress. And they're saying that this is non-compliance on the part of the government when it comes to the
This is a matter of the
disagreement.
legislative at this stage. So we'll have to defer to them.
They also expressed concern that it was not included initially in the 28 priority bills.
It will be, as far as I know, it's going to be touched on in the next LEDAC.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Marisa Lalili.
Hi, sir. Another issue. Former senatorial candidate Greco Belica said that members of the Liberal Party is having planning a destabilization plot against the president and an assassination plot against President Duterte. What can you say about this, sir? And do you receive same reports?
My office has not received any of those reports. However, if he has made any statements regarding the matter, I'm sure he needs to have substantial evidence regarding that matter.
But will the palace look into this, or are you going to investigate this report, the basis?
As far as we know, matters like these arise every day, almost every day, threats and the like, and so I'm sure it's going to be also looked into.
But is this a cause of concern on your part, sir?
Any threat is a cause of concern.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
last question, CCTV, Ms. Yellow.
Sir, I would like to know, because yesterday the BRICS Business Forum opening ceremony held in China, and President Xi Jinping said in his speech that China would like to promote the BRICS Plus cooperation model. And as of now, the Philippines has a very good performance on the economic side. So I would like to know, do we have any plan to become a part of the BRICS Plus in the future?
For that, we need to defer to the economic managers, NEDA, DOF, and also we need to bring in, of course, the participation of the DFA. Regarding these matters, we defer to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Yellow. Sir, update sa Mindanao Hour.
Before that,
Sir, pa-shoot naman ng isa. Sorry. Isa lang.
sige.
Sir, si Senator Gordon has announced na invite na po sila Vice Mayor Pulong at saka si Attorney Carpio for a Senate investigation on September 7.
okay. So you're saying?
Reaction ng Palasyo?
Well, like the president has said, he has given his not the president. I'm sure the gentlemen are willing to, and as they have said, are willing to face the Senate.
Face and also talk? Kasi
Face.
sabi ni President sa speech, he can go and then just invoke the right against self-incrimination. Or depends on who's going to ask.
Well, that will be their prerogative. But they've definitely said that they're willing to face.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
All right. Following our significant developments regarding Marawi and in connection with, as Toby has said earlier, the recent retaking of two critical bridges in the city, namely the Balui and at Mapandi and the Bayabao Bridge in Bangolo, are indicative of the decreasing maneuvering space of the rebels and will facilitate their defeat. The continued use of hostages as human shields and the employment of IEDs in all areas the rebels have vacated will continue to slow down our advance, but will not be a critical factor against offensive operations that will remain relentless. Clearing operations are progressing albeit slower these last few days because of the remaining complexities in the very significant developments that will greatly expedite the defeat of the rebels still hold up inside the remaining portions of the city's business district. Regarding statistics, buildings cleared 7, and yesterday, as of yesterday, September 2, that was the other day, 1. Okay. As status of the cash donations, as of August 31, the donations for Marawi casualties remain at 37,408,938.23, and donations for the IDPs, 956,030 pesos and 21 centavos. Just one or two more. The Philippines tops the Consumer Confidence Index. Pinoys have once more gained the top spot as the world's most confident consumers. The results of the second quarter Nielsen Global Survey of Consumer Confidence and Spending Intentions showed the Philippines posting an index score of 130 points. The high confidence of Filipino consumers affirms the gains of the Duterte administration in creating a more sustainable and inclusive economy for all Filipinos. Also touching on some portions of the agenda for this afternoon's cabinet meeting, there'll be a briefing on the flu outbreak. Also, there will be discussion on the macroeconomic performance during the second quarter of 2017. Also, there will be a discussion on regarding OFWs with cases abroad. And for information, the status of the President's legislative agenda. That is all. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Last lang. With regard to the Marcoses, should any compromise with the Marcoses come with admission of guilt? Admission to the crimes they have allegedly committed? As a matter of principle, sir.
Well, that would be voicing an opinion, and that's not, that's not within my purview.
Oh.
Okay. So that should be within the President's terrain.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. JP?
Sir, last na lang. Can we get confirmation on the military's claims that Abdullah Maute might have been killed already?
I think we addressed that earlier. We will get to you as soon as we get verified reports.
But sir, how will this new development be crucial to the efforts to retake Marawi or possibly end the crisis?
We'll have to, that kind of the conclusion will have to come from the AFP themselves. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, JP. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella. Thank you, Assistant Secretary James Purisima. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and PTV.